The biggest thing I've had though is like I usually have a prevailing phrase that's going on in the back of my head. I have something in the back of my brain that I is kind of talking to me. To your point of like changing, literally the last 8 months, like this year, probably the beginning of this year, I decided I really need to become a CEO. I think I'm an okay entrepreneur. We've launched cool stuff and we've made millions of dollars. It's been really cool, but like I'm not a CEO yet. I'm an entrepreneur or starter or whatever you want to call that. Someone who starts companies. I'm not one who runs company. An entrepreneur starts companies and a CEO manages and builds and scales companies
Yep.
and can manage teams effectively. And so I built this whole persona around who a CEO is. A CEO is a systems builder. They just manage systems. It's all a CEO does. So I started literally this year, I started really thinking about how am I building systems in my company that will result in massive growth as a CEO. So we literally this year built out an executive team with certain KPIs and reports and how I work with them. That's been a huge growth curve for me this year. And it's been good. I've read a ton of books. I talked to mentors and coaches. Like, how do you actually be a CEO, not a entrepreneur founder? I want to be a CEO. And so I'm still on that grind. I literally am consuming content like crazy and coaches and all that kind of stuff to become that. So right now, if you're asking about a shift in my at least thing this year has been a huge shift for me.
I'm in that exact same shift right now as well. Just read Traction. So just implementing a lot of that. Just even the very first one, like get on a same page with your partner. I looked at it and I was like, man, I got a business partner and we haven't even sat down and really got in the same vision on the same page.
Mm.
And I mean, that's been a humongous change. That changed our business like that, just immediately. It immediately made a change. So some of these mentors and what are some of the content and some of the books that you're reading on that subject?
We just read Getting to Yes. As an executive team, we just started today 5 dysfunctions of a team. For that, Good to Great, Jim Collins, Lost and Founder. That's not as much about a CEO. That's more about founding a company, scaling a company. That's a really interesting book, Lost and Founder. I've also liked Simon Sinek. I've watched a few of his just on he does a great job on his stuff on YouTube and walking through like the infinite game of playing not just a match or a thing, but the long-term infinite game of what your company is becoming and growing into. But the biggest thing I think has been from mentors and coaches.